Welcome to In the Know with Steph and Joe. In the Know with Steph and Joe is all about small business development. These two entrepreneurs bring real-life experience, laughter, and, well, just a ton of knowledge on how to build your small business and make it thrive. After all, this is your creation. Now learn how to make it sing. In the Know with Steph and Joe airs Fridays at 3 p.m. right here on 216 The Net. Like, follow Steph's books and Restoration One of Cary, along with 216 The Net on Facebook, and subscribe to the 216 The Net YouTube channel. It is time for embracing stories. Oh, embarrassing stories. It's better if I can read, but we can embrace the embarrassing.
To be honest, some embracing stories are embarrassing.
Yeah, they are. They are. Of course, you know what, too? It's $5 Friday, a rainy Friday out. Stop over at JH Events of Flowers and grab a $5 bouquet of flowers. Tell me, hear it right here in 216. Tom from Tom's Productions will pay for it.
Way to go, y'all.
I don't know if he will. I'm just saying that.
I might.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, happy Friday the 13th.
Love it.
How often does that come around on October?
Well, once every 8 years, probably 7, 4, 5, 7, 8 years.
7 years.
Can't be 7 because of leap years.
Right, that's why I said 8.
Yeah.
Once every 8 years. Also, you're going to notice.
no.
Also, you're going to notice. So this is. We need everybody's input, right? You're going to notice.
Hey, Carrie.
You're going to notice that there is a link there. You can copy that link that's in the comments or the one that was out on the post earlier saying that we're going to have the show, and you can put that right into your URL. And once you have it in your URL, you can come in and be part of the show. That's it. People can hear you.
Look at us go.
Huh?
We're chatting off to the side while you're.
No, that was a great courtroom attempt to quiet the mic.
I'm just trying to be.
That
I'm just
was
trying to
like-
be on brand, okay, and on theme for the show today.
That's
so-
like when the NFL coach goes,
Hey, Mom.
"Hi, Mom." That's like when the NFL coach goes, "Hey, Mike. What do we have? Something's in the house."
Yeah.
It's all right. We're okay. You gonna handle
We're
it?
live on the air.
Yeah. You want to say hi?
We're sharing embarrassing
Comcast
stories.
guy.
You want to share?
This guy's embarrassing story is when he walked into the studio and the mics were live.
Hi, Derek. Okay, so don't forget, you guys can't just be voyeurs this show. Everybody has to share. We have stories from we have so many anonymous stories that were submitted, so that's great. But we would also love if anybody is daring enough to either 1, come to the studio, or 2, click the link. Or if you really want to type out a really long story, then by all means, type it out. But be careful with the voice to text, because I know that goes awry. So with that being said, I could probably share an embarrassing story right off the bat with voice to text. I text my staff all the time.
In voice to text?
Yeah. So I'm like driving or I'm in my office or whatever. So I will use voice to text. So one of my employees, I was like, hey, could you come down to my office for a quick sec? Okay. Well, my voice to text was like, hey, can you come down to my office for sex?
So it's clear what your
go.
voice to text, what your voice to text is
Like
is
that.
AIing off of is your normal texts include sex more than sex.
Hey.
Sec.
I don't know, but it was
Are you
like,
hiring?
I was like, I was like mortified, and I was like,
Right.
ah, shit, I'm gonna get sued. And now we have HR. And like,
So one of my favorite things to do, because it happened once, but then I'm like, ooh, that's a great joke. What? What?
It
kind
happened
of-
once, and now it's a great joke.
Well, in and along that
Yeah.
realm, right? You're texting something, and it auto corrects, and you go, I got it. No, it's just got it. Got it. Well, if you change the space from got it over 1, it's go tit.
so is that what your texts say all the time? I mean, I never gotten that from you yet, but
Joe, what do you think? Go Tit.
Go tit.
But yeah.
So it auto-corrected once, and then I went, that's a good joke.
Well,
So I was embarrassed the first time. And actually, there's
but the fifth time you're like, we're just rolling with it out.
Now it's just funny. There's
now
one
that
of
I can't get sued for it.
one of our vendors that supply us as Restoration One. He texted my wife to say got it, but it was go tit. he didn't know, and my wife's like, are you okay? Are you sure? Like, is that good? Are you like, does that mean we're good to go? Like, you're gonna wrap our vehicle? Go tit. I guess I just don't understand that. And he's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Like, totally embarrassed. So there are times I think that like you can easily text.
Yeah, Derek, where have you been? I thought you were an avid.
That's what
listener.
it was. Carrie just said
tits.
Yeah, he accidentally texted me tits instead of yeah. Meaning, like, hey, you want to do this? Tits was his normal response to his buddies, apparently. But he replied tits to my wife. And I mean, I laughed so hard, but then my autocorrect hit go tits one time instead of got it.
Go tits.
Oh, but I feel like everybody has to have an embarrassing text message story. Like, especially with a lot of us that are like multitasking while we're texting and reading emails and doing this and doing that. And I don't want to say like driving and texting because that, but like while we're multitasking throughout our course of our day, I feel like I don't proofread everything that I send out.
You don't?
And, well, I mean, now I'm starting to more because that stupid thing. And I'm like,
I have to proofread everything.
I'm like, what's gonna like, Rich is gonna look at my phone and he's gonna be like, what?
Why
like,
are you texting somebody tits?
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Put that in the ledger.
But yeah, so I feel like everybody has to have some type of embarrassing text messaging story, or like, this is probably bad, but one time I was trying to say something unfavorable about somebody that I was disengaging with in a contract, and I forwarded their message to Rich.
Them?
No, I forwarded the message that they sent me to Rich, and then I proceeded to talk shit. But the way my phone was, it wound up replying to the client versus sending it to Rich. And then I was like,
I've done that in email when I was in insurance world. I learned really quick in the insurance world.
Yeah, because when you copy or forward, it sends you back to the original one.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I've done
learned
that so many times.
Yeah.
I have done that so many times, and they're like, what? And I'm like, oh shit.
Like, I will triple check the name now before, like, if I'm forwarding or copying anything.
I learned that. I will triple check. Insurance days. Yeah. I learned that back in my insurance days. You always have to check it, and if you don't, you're truly a fool.
In the insurance world.
Oh, that's my sister.
Hey.
Hi, sister Anne Marie.
Oh, do you have any embarrassing Joe stories that we would just love to hear?
I don't think she does.
I think
you really don't have the embarrassment.
All right, so I actually wrote this down. You're right. I don't get like traditional. So many.
Hey, copy this.
Go ahead, tell some stories. We'll see how this reciprocates.
Copy that link, put it in your URL.
Yeah. Zoom in. Your mom was on the show, so zoom in.
Marie, let's see how long this goes. I'm pretty sure I can embarrass you a lot better.
Ooh, I love a good healthy competition.
It's hard to embarrass Joe.
I'll put $10 on Anne Marie.
I love that. I love that. You need to meet her because you guys would get along really well.
Is she short too?
No.
Oh.
No.
That's how she judges if you get along with her.
Oh, she's short? We'll get along great.
I went to the PTA.
I love Carrie. Her and I are on the same wavelength.
That's it. Steph's like, I went to the PTA. She seemed cool, but she was tall. Fuck her.
I don't like her.
I don't like her. She's tall.
Not eye level.
Yeah. Like I only that's why I like Dawn so much, because my head just fits like perfectly right on her boob.
Perfect. In between or on?
No, I usually just do the side.
Yeah, I mean, what
side boob?
Yeah.
Okay.
And why is
Fair
why is
enough.
it? Yeah, so if Dawn turns
I
around
need to
quickly,
get-
she's got
I
a
need
duck.
to get shorter. I need to get shorter. lay my head on a boober too.
Why are you hunched
See?
over?
We're jealous.
Very comforting. Very comforting.
to know that.
Mhm.
All right, so truly, I don't really like get embarrassed when, in the true sense of like when people are out there and they're like, you know,
Oh, that might be a good
in
start.
a group setting, and somebody says, you know, or the traditional, you get pantsed in a crowd, right?
Nope, never happened to me.
I don't care. I don't care. I stripped at a wedding once as a bartender, not down to underwear, but I still did it. I don't care. I really don't care.
I don't get embarrassed by that kind of stuff. But like, so how does everybody react
Was it
when
in the
they?
winter? Because were you cold? I mean,
No, it was very much summer. It
Yeah.
was humid and hot.
Ew.
sweaty.
But how does
I will
like how
embarrass
does everybody
people more
react?
than
Like
be
I
embarrassed.
can't like if I start to get like even like the slightest iota of uncomfortable, like I just turn fire engine red. But if I've been drinking, I also turn fire engine red. So it's hard to tell like if I'm uncomfortable
I know when
or
you're
just
uncomfortable.
or just drunk.
I know when you're uncomfortable.
You know, like
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
so like but like if I get mad, I turn red. If I get embarrassed, I turn red. If I get uncomfortable in a speaking engagement, I turn red. No, not Irish.
Anne Marie, just copy the damn thing and come in here and talk to us. Jeez Louise.
But you know, like I can't.
Anne-Marie, listen to Kent and copy the goddamn link so you can
Come on in.
come into the show and dial in. You're blowing up our chat line. We
Yeah.
can't read fast enough.
So like it just kind of like I don't
Damn
know, like so like that's what happens to me.
Him?
But it's like every single emotion I turn red. So it's like I don't.
All right, Anne-Marie,
No.
so
Not my problem. She says.
you're not, that is an Irish thing. It's what all of us Irish humans do.
Do you turn red? I've never seen you turn red though.
I don't get embarrassed.
But like any emotion, I turn red.
Nope. I guess I just,
Like if I'm
I don't
happy
know. I
or
think I'm
mad
just
or
like,
anything,
I
it's like
think I'm
everything.
just like dark colored, like enough like redneck.
Oh, yeah,
I'm redneck.
I don't go in the sun.
See,
Mm.
so either way, Amory, come in, dial in, tell us one story about me that you think is embarrassing.
Oh, that like a situation where you get embarrassed.
Yeah. She
Mhm.
goes,
Yeah.
he's harnessing it into funny energy. She goes, people trying to embarrass Joe equals
Him.
Yeah, and that's really what I do. He has no.
Dang.
Wow. She just threw it out there.
Really?
And see,
Dive
I'm
in.
not
I can tell
embarrassed
that
by
fast.
that. He's like our dad. So my sister said that I'm like our dad. I have no emotion. And
I think it's
when
hard.
it,
but
when
like,
it comes
so
to
like,
things like that, but like I could stand up in front of a group. I have no problem doing that kind of thing.
but
I can tell you
you're hard.
kind of the one spot.
So like,
that
it's
I
hard to get
embarrassed.
you to be embarrassed. Like, I don't feel like I get embarrassed very easily. But like, I don't know. Like, how do people react though? Like, do they like run away?
I don't think it's embarrassed. I think it's like for you when you're talking like flushed and like red, right? It's
Usually
like,
I
it's
find
like
more
caught
humor than embarrassing in it.
It's caught off guard and like.
Oh, okay. I have the best caught off guard Gavin story you'll ever hear in your life.
but that's
was-
kind of, to me, that's what it is. It's like when you're
was
in a
4 years old.
conversation and somebody says something in a group of people and you just were totally taken back and caught off guard, and then they put you on the spot, right?
All right,
and
so
you're
we're
on the
gonna
spot.
each of us are gonna share a caught off guard story. I'll start with Gavin's story. Okay. I was in college.
Okay.
So Gavin's probably like about 4 at this point, and I have to do a presentation in speech. Okay, so I'm doing the speech. It's on early childhood development, whatever. Doing the speech. Gavin came as my assistant, and he was demonstrating some of the educational toys that we have and how it's like whatever progressing and stuff. It's being filmed, this speech. Get to the end of the speech. Gavin walks up to a pretty girl in the front row, and he's like, hey, he's like, my uncle showed me this, and he threw up that. And he
Shocker.
So yeah. So he threw up the shocker. The girl had no clue what was going on. The guy behind her acted like Joe. It is dying. I'm mortified standing up there in front of the whole class of people and my teacher while being filmed, and it's on camera in his little cute little toddler baby voice. Like,
wait, he's that big?
He's 4 years old.
Oh, he's throwing the shocker at 4?
Yes.
I thought this was like 2 years ago.
No. He's 4.
Oh God, that's more amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, so that was my it's all the way at the top, Carrie, at the front of the stream.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I'll
that
put
was
it out there.
that was my caught off guard, like mouth open, like oh my God, like what do I do now? Because I just talked about early childhood development and educating them and all this stuff, and then this is what the end result is.
My boy
there.
rolls up and drops the shocker on the cute girl in the front row. Hey, how you doing?
So
We're gonna come back to my trailer. I'll give you the shocker.
My uncle showed me this. I love it. That's
it's
so good.
Technique.
That's so good.
Delivery.
So
Delivery gets you in. Technique is what kicks you out.
so there you go. So that was my cut off guard embarrassing moment.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. So
So mine is Lucy is probably 2.5 to 3 years old, right? And she's probably two, diapers still, but can kind of walk. Yes, it's probably 2.5, 3, talking a little bit, right? And it's winter, and we've got a huge old conversion van. Right, we called it the ambulance. Because,
hang on one second. We have a dialer in her, but you
have
have to be quiet right now, Anne Marie, because Kent's telling his story.
Yeah.
Tell me when I'm ready to go.
Thanks for whispering. And so.
This is my sister. I don't know if you know this. This is my sister.
Yeah. No,
she's gonna play along real well.
All right, I appreciate it. Super. All right, so we've got the running boards on this big conversion van, right? And it's winter, and we're unloading, and the grandparents are with us, right? And Lucy is trying to get out the van by herself, and she slips on the running board, right? And as soon as her foot goes out, she's hanging on to the door handle or whatever.
Done that so many times.
Her foot slips out. 2.5 years old. She goes, what the fuck? and I stop.
Turn around.
Alice is beat red because my parents are in the car.
Oh.
My dad's a preacher, right? She slipped. It is perfect time, perfectly used, and all I can do, me and the older kids, or Spencer is 17 at this point. Me and the older kids are just dying right now. Right?
That's all I would be doing at that point is just cracking up laughing.
And Alice is like, "Where did she?" I'm like, because she heard it and she used it. She has no idea, but she absolutely used it perfectly. So it was either me. It was her brother, sister, whatever. Somebody used it. She picked up on it. And her foot went out. She's all, wow, what the fuck? 2.5 years old. And I couldn't help but laugh. Alice, that caught Alice off guard, totally embarrassed, apologizing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Who is talking? Hilarious.
All right. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be honestly proud if my child were to use it properly.
Yeah.
Used properly. Yeah, I'd throw some. I'd be very proud of that.
I mean, at 14 now, I don't know if she uses it properly.
Now at 14,
Right,
she can't.
right.
There's a slight
Right.
variance when they go away from using it properly,
Yeah.
and then they'll come back to it in their 20s.
Yeah.
All right, Anne-Marie dialed in. She called me in. She's on speakerphone, so we're gonna see how this sounds. I'm sure it sounds.
Hold her up. To
Yeah. Okay. Is this good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hear you. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can
but
now.
I
You
do
sound
have-
beautiful.
I know, like I said in the chat, I know there is no story that will embarrass my brother because that's his job for the rest of us. It's great. He's fantastic at it.
So
But one of
true.
my favorite stories of Joe is we were living in Alpena. And in this house in Alpena, there was a house and a detached garage. And on the side of this garage was like a lean-to. And I know Joe already knows what I'm going to say. Yep. And so there's this lean-to that had a caged area that was for some kind of animal. Like we had
Dogs.
we had
It was the
cats,
dogs.
we had
That's what it
rabbits
was built for, was dogs.
It was, but we also had rabbits in there, and then
We cut the
right
fence
before-
open and let the cats, the yard cats, run in. So we had like barn cats
Yeah, okay.
that were
Let
outside.
Let her
all
tell
the
a story. Let her tell a story,
Joe,
Joe.
Go ahead.
Story.
Sorry.
Good story, Joe.
Sorry. Go ahead. My
Not your
bad.
show. It's Steph. You're welcome, Steph.
Thank you.
You
So
need to meet
there's
her.
that lean-to thing area, and so we had cats in there at the time. We were just about to move down to Lansing. Great, awesome time to move. So this cat had kittens, all that jazz, and we had food in there for the cats to come in and out of. Outdoor cats. We do not believe in indoor cats as a unit. So these cats would come in and out. I was in charge. My 6-year-old self was in charge of going to go out and feed the cats, making sure they got food and water. That's fair. I step outside the front door, and I immediately hear a not cat crunching on food. It is not a cat. There is some aggressive crunching going on in that lean-to. And I immediately go, I'm not going out there. I haven't seen the movie It yet. Yet. I know that's not okay. So I think to myself, let me get the older fellows. So I go in and get Steven, 2.5 years older, and Joe, who's 7 years older than me. And Steven and I are like, nope, can't handle the situation. We flick on the lights of the garage. It's a mama raccoon that's the size of like I don't even know. She was
Medium-sized
enormous.
dog. It was
panda
monster.
bear. Yeah.
She's-
Medium-sized dog. Yeah.
Homegirl was big. So she was chowing down, and her 5 little babes were behind her and just staring at me like, come at us, I dare you. Okay, cool. I'm going to go get my brother. So that's what I did. And Joe, to make me feel better, because I was scared. I don't know why. Raccoons apparently scared me at the time.
Yeah.
He put on my bicycle helmet, which was pink, because I was the only girl in the family. So he put on my pink bicycle helmet. He put on Dad's full Carhartt, and I believe these were pretty new Carhartts, so they were like cardboard, not Carhartt. They were stiff as hell. Like he was walking like a robot, and then he also had, I think, a welding face mask.
The face shield, yeah.
Face mask. Yep. He had the face shield on, and then he also had some. Was it hockey gloves, or were they like firefighter gloves?
They were firefighter gloves. Yeah, they were Dad's
Firefighter
gloves.
gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had.
I wasn't getting bit. I'm not getting fucking rabies, all right?
I'm not getting shots in my stomach. I might get bit, but I'm not getting shots in my stomach, he says. So he goes in there, and Steven and he pulls out a cooler, a huge igloo cooler, Mr. Lug cooler, sitting there, and he goes, okay, guys, you sit on this, and when I come out with a raccoon, you open it, close it immediately, and then sit on it.
This is my 5 and 7-year-old siblings, and I'm
and he's
12
like
or
mid-teens.
13.
Yeah, like this is the 100. He could dial the phone a little bit better than us, but that was about it.
Whoa! That was embarrassing. So we got the coons out.
We got them all out, and Mom and Dad were shook when they got home and they found out what happened. Because Dad thought it was hilarious, but Mom thought we were pretty close to death, from what I remember.
So what did you do? You leave him in the cooler?
She was not okay, but that's my story of
I'm
Joe
not telling
and
the end
his-
of that story. Dad and I took them out back.
It got real farm-like.
Yeah, we know what
They
Dad
went
did
to the
with
farm.
mine.
They went to the farm.
He was coming out of the woods with the leash.
Dad and I took him to the farm, and Dad handed me and said, "Take him to the
Needless to say,
farm.
the kids
Take
had
him to the
coon-
farm." What up, homie?
Needless to say,
Can you? No,
Come
get
on,
in
we
here.
got another
Sorry,
guest
we got
coming
another
in.
guest that just walked into the studio, Amory.
Jessica.
Amory, that is like one of the funniest stories that just doesn't embarrass me.
I know. Well, that was my thing too. Was like I'm going to because I called Carrie because I couldn't figure out where to dial in. So I was like, "Is it okay if I just call him?" And she's like, "What's the worst that'll happen?" That's where we are.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, you're not gonna embarrass me. I love that, Ree.
I just thought that's my favorite story.
All right, I appreciate that.
Nice
Yeah,
to meet
love
you.
Have fun.
When you're in town sometime,
You
we
can
gotta
come and
get
hide
you.
in my office like your mom did.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, you could surprise me. Hi, Mom. Mom says hi to you, April. All right,
My
Ree,
mom's
we'll
talking to
talk.
you.
Oh, hey, love you, Joe.
Love you too. Later.
Bye. So we're sharing
So
embarrassing
awesome.
stories. So I shared one about Gavin when he was younger. Kent shared one about Lucy, and then
We
Joe's
got caught
sister
off guard.
called in.
We
So
got
it's an
called off.
embarrassing story
About
that you
other
got,
people?
like where you got caught off
It
guard
could
in an
be just
embarrassing
caught off
moment.
guard. All right, so
So we're in the caught off guard segment. So
Mm.
something that happened where it caught you so off guard that you were like speechless.
let me tell
I'm never
the one that
speechless.
that actually is in my brain.
Okay.
So I was in the shoe store, managing the shoe store, and I had this girl. I was 20 years old, managing a shoe store, and I had this girl. She was 16. Dark skin, very voluptuous. 16 years old. Hang on. All I'm saying
That's
is,
illegal, Joe.
Holy
Illegal.
HR nightmare right
hang
now.
on. All I'm saying is, my wife will agree to this, is she was some kind of weirdo. So
Wait, this is the girl with the twerking, right?
yeah.
Okay, I remember. her.
See? Thank you. So if I can actually do it on the
Hey,
table, like
things were much different in the 2010s.
no, this wasn't even 2010. This was 2002.
Twerking and working are very similar. He may have been confused.
So
She
I
was selling some shoes.
I
I
was
needed
running
to-
a shoe store,
True.
and
He,
we
he
had
moved it like on Go Tits. It was, hey,
I
go
just
go
shifted
to
the
work.
space. I just
Go-
shifted
It was
the
like
space
go to work,
to go to work.
I see.
Go twerk.
go
See,
twerk.
Go
Really, this is
twerk.
all your
Go
fault,
to
Joe.
work. Go twerk.
Sorry, I had
Good
to-
one. Good one. I came around the corner. I was in the back room, like putting shoes away back in their normal spot. And I came around the corner, and we have this countertop, and the countertop was directly adjacent to the mirror. That's a full-size mirror that you go up and you put your shoes on and you look at them and you go, oh yeah, those look good in my outfit or whatever, right? So we have this mirror and it's directly adjacent to the countertop, and I walk around the corner from the back room and she is on top of the countertop straight grinding it.
And not with. a
I'm
tool.
like
I mean, not-
totally blown away. Like,
She's
what
not-
are you doing?
She doesn't have like a Milwaukee hand tool. She's trying to grind down. When you
This
say
is
grinding,
not like metal. No, this
Yeah.
is like twerking it.
Mm,
She is straight twerking it.
this is brown chicken brown cow.
She's two
Wow.
working it.
Yeah.
Two working it. And I was like, what are you doing, child? Knock it off. Like, get off my countertop and don't do this. Because, and that's what, but I can only describe it that way because that is one thing that took my mind. I'm like, what are you doing?
And that's because he's like, can I have my pen?
Excuse me.
Is that my mom?
shoehorn is
Yeah.
in the wrong spot.
Right.
Excuse me. Can I get my shoehorn out of there? Thank you.
Never use the credit card swiper to get quite the same way.
So I got. So do you have a
Enough.
caught off guard
No,
moment?
I-
You just walked in.
Come on, you have
You're
to.
really putting me on the spot.
Or we
We
can
pegged you?
segue into
On the spot?
We have
Caught off guard.
has anybody started a job and had like an embarrassing moment in their first couple weeks of work? Because like I know when I started Burger King, I locked myself in the freezer accidentally.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ken. Really?
It was like the morning I was working my first. Normally I worked like lunch or dinner shift, so I was working in my first breakfast shift, and I needed to stock they have like a mini fridge underneath the cash registers that has like orange juice and like other like little items in it. And so I needed to stock that. So I was like, oh, okay. So I went into the fridge
Walk in.
or whatever, the freezer thing. I didn't realize that you're not supposed to let it close behind you. Nobody told me. It was not part of the
Well,
training.
hang on. Actually, if it's a true walk-in, it should
And-
not have a closing door that locks from the.
Yeah. So I couldn't get out.
That is
Those
that.
two.
Thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
this was like
That's
back in
not
the,
the code.
this was back in the 1900s. And so
That's right.
How old are you?
Old enough.
it was like it had a 19 in front of the
Right, so
year.
that's the
like,
Okay.
This
Okay.
was-
Back in the
Okay.
1900s.
19.
you know, this is when we were still like sitting in the back of station wagons with no seatbelts in that trunk seat.
Oh, yeah.
I still
you know.
do that to this
Absolutely.
day.
But so I walked in there to get the orange juice and nobody told me. And then I guess I didn't realize they're soundproof. So I'm like knocking on the door to try and get out.
they're
And
insulated.
like, I can't, nobody heard me.
Of course, you can't see out the window. So if somebody did hear, they're like, no, nothing.
And then
Yeah,
so
yeah.
somebody finally, thankfully,
Where's
came.
Steph?
They finally came to get
Can't
some
see
chicken
anybody through the
nuggets
window.
out of the freezer. And I was
They
in
just
there.
Found you in there.
Yeah, I was in there holding the orange juice, like very cold. But I think the only reason why my body stayed warm enough is because I was super pregnant and like I had extra blood flow.
I was just about to say, and that's why she never grew any taller.
It stunted her
So,
growth at
But yeah,
that
so I
point.
made it out. But that was like my embarrassing like new
Oh.
job. Like I mean, I was a teenager.
Yeah,
so
come on in-
like,
come on
that
in,
was like
Derek.
my first like real job, you know.
Yeah.
Just copy that URL, throw it in. And,
So
and
does
jump in.
anybody else have an embarrassing?
All right, so
Work
I'll
story?
tell you. So back when I was
Oh,
younger,
there's Derek.
here comes
Look,
Derek.
we got somebody in here. Hello, Derek.
Oh, I gotta hold on.
Oh, look
We
at
can
that.
hear you.
Wow.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, he's got to put his earbuds in.
Oh, put your ear
Yeah, get rid of the
holes in.
echo. All right, so while he's getting ready, so I am an insurance agent in Iowa, right? I'm in my 20s, and I've got hair parted on the side, and I'm driving around to. I got this nice Cadillac crushed velvet, right? Doing well for myself. I got the double breast suit on, and I'm going around to these farmers and collecting insurance premiums and talking insurance with them. So I pull up to the Johnson's farm. This is the truth, Johnson's. And I'm, hey, Mr. Johnson, how are you going? Okay, you got, Mr. Johnson's out in the milk house. I said, oh, he'll be in a minute. It's all right. I'll go out there. So I've got, if you know me, I'm tight, right? I am absolutely tight. Head to toe, white shirt, tie,
Yep.
glasses,
Yep.
hair parted on the side when I had hair. I am looking good, right? I look like a banker. I'm coming in like I own the bank. And I get into the milk house, and all the cows are lined up. And there's a cement runner, probably 4 feet wide, right down the middle that you can walk between the cows on.
Full
Right?
of shit.
Usually, yeah. Right. So I come in this door on this end. Mr. Johnson's down on the other. A lot of noise, and I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Johnson!" I start walking to him, and about 2.5 cows, 3 cows ahead of me, I see the tail go up. Now, when a cow's tail goes up, it means they're going to poo-poo, right? So I understand this. Again, dressed to the nines. I back up a minute, like, ha, I got this. See, I'm not a city guy. Well, she starts to poop, and then she sneezed, and shit went everywhere. I am covered from head to toe. It's in my.
It speckled the bowl, but you were the bowl.
It is on my suit, head to toe, my glasses. I've got it in my mouth, my hair. And the farmer is laughing as hard as you guys are. And I just stood there like this.
I don't get embarrassed.
Right? And I wasn't embarrassed, but I was like, oh my God.
That's
So I look, and I'm about ready to, wipe
But
it.
you're like a
He goes,
germaphobe.
yeah, I know. And he goes, don't.
don't wipe it.
You got to let it dry. I'm like,
What?
What? You got to let it dry. Otherwise, it's going to grind into the
Yeah.
suit and all this stuff. So I'm like, you got to be, it's on my shirt, on my tie, it's everywhere. Right? And now this is in the middle. This is the middle of Iowa. We're in the country, right? I am literally 20-25 minutes from a small town, right? So we take care of the business. He's done, he gives me a little rag or whatever to wipe my face, my glasses off, whatever. So I have to take off my suit coat and my shirt and tie and put it into my trunk. And I head to the nearest town because now it's like there's still time to work, right? I walk into the clothing store, which they've got khakis or something, whatever a little Iowa clothing store has. It's not a Walmart. This is a little clothing store without a shirt on, with cow shit in
you
my
went to the
hair,
dairy farm, did you?
with cow shit in my hair, all over my pants, smelling horrific, right? And so they just kind of look at me like, what the hell? I'm like, I'm gonna need a shirt and some pants, please.
Oh my god.
I've never been that embarrassed.
These people probably still talk now. Of course, then it's this July, right? So it's hot, and so now I've got
Even
poopy
worse.
clothes in the trunk, just like
Fermenting?
marinating.
Yeah. Festering, marinating.
It literally took me like 6 months to get the stink out of my car. It was brutal. It never did come out of the suit. I had to get rid of the suit.
So do you still have the suit?
No, I got rid of the suit. I couldn't fit in the suit anyway. But oh my gosh. And it was in my hair. I got home. It was still in my
Is that why you're bald now?
Yeah, that's a lot. But it was unbelievable because here I was being confident sales guy. Like, yeah, I see the deal coming up. This is great.
Did you close the deal though?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You got the
that's
deal?
fine.
Well, then,
That's
hey,
It was a little-
Had to.
Hashtag worth
He probably
Worth
felt
it.
bad for me. Like, oh, geez, this.
All right,
this,
Derek.
this city slicker.
Oh,
How are you gonna top that, Derek? With
Yeah,
your
Derek, can you
embarrassing
top
story?
I think I want to close this out and come back again later because I definitely can't top that.
You haven't
Um,
been sprayed
I-
with shit before?
Right, yeah.
Thankfully, no.
We can
I would-
change
I would
It's
that.
grainy.
I would
It's
die.
Derek, we can change that.
it's grainy. When they
I-
like hit the mouth and the lips.
I don't even want to try it. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm good.
There's hay in it.
I wish Becky was here because she would tell at least the one story better than I. But I've got two of them. One is embarrassing for her. I thought it was hilarious. So this had to been, I don't know. She was interning or something for a local company, and they had asked her to go to the bank and drop off a deposit. And she had called me, and she is bawling her eyes out in the car, and she is just crying. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. What's wrong? She's like, I don't know how to use a bank. She was in college. She didn't know how to. She was so embarrassed. She didn't know how to walk inside and go up to the teller and make this deposit. She had only ever used the ATM in her life. That was it. And she was sitting there crying outside the bank instead of walking in and saying, "Hey, can we do this?" She literally sat out in the car and cried and cried and cried.
I feel like I'm one of few people that know how to write a check still my age
I
or
write
younger.
checks.
I understand, but you're a bookkeeper. You
I don't
should.
write them. I can't write them because they're personal.
Well, I write my own checks too, but I'm just saying, like, there's few people our age or younger, really younger, that know how to write a check. And along Derek's point, like, to go into a bank and know how to request something or to say, hey, this is what I need to do. How do I fill out a proper form for a deposit? Or like, does anybody really know how to do that? No, we know how to get online.
I don't know,
Well,
my mom taught me.
She had no idea at that point in time. This was probably,
I hope she knows
it
now.
was a while ago. But
Yeah, this
Yes,
was at least
Yeah,
back in
did-
20
Derek, did you teach her? Did you teach her?
I did.
Yeah, this
yeah.
was back in
after I
2020.
left.
In
We got
case,
it.
in
Yeah,
case anybody's
exactly.
wondering, Becky is his wife.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Since we're sharing embarrassing stories about spouses, just in case that could be up next.
So I've got another one, and this is embarrassing for me. But when I was younger, I used to, and I think a lot of people do, right? You scare people, they come out of a room, and you just kind of jump out at them, type of thing. I used to do that all the time. I don't do it anymore because of this reason, actually. So the one time Becky, I don't know if we were married at the time or not, but probably just before we were getting married. She was in our downstairs bathroom, and I got this great idea. I was going to scare her because I don't think she knew I was home. I think I had just gotten home, type of thing. So she opened the door to come out of the downstairs bathroom, and I was like jumped up, and I was like, boo or whatever I did, rah, whatever. And she screamed so loud. It was like this just terrifying scream. She screamed so loud that I screamed like a little girl. I mean, just shrieked. And like I jumped back. She terrified me with her scream. It was hilarious. We both laughed about it for, after a few minutes, we both laughed about it, and we still laugh about it. And she tells it way better because she talks about seeing my face and me, just terrified of whatever came out of her mouth. But I will not do that anymore. From that point on, I stopped completely.
Love it.
Just done. But yeah, I scream like a little girl.
That's hilarious.
Little girls who are listening, it's fine to scream.
Yeah,
it's okay to scream if you're
fine.
A little girl.
It's just
that's right. Yeah,
it was.
If you're a man, it's okay to scream like a little girl too. We accept you for no matter what you
scream
are.
like a man,
and learn from the things you do, I guess. So
yeah,
that happened to my brother. My brother was missing his like 4 front teeth for like the longest time, and he had to have surgery, and so he just had his canines. And my parents took us to Sturgis, and so we were in the back of the pickup truck driving to the hotel or whatever, and it was dark. And I was laying under a blanket, and I had the blanket over my head, but then I had like this, and I was sleeping, and I had like this weird sense that somebody was staring at me. So I pulled the blanket, and my brother was like a vampire, And then I screamed so loud that it scared him. He started crying, and then my dad had to pull over. Because like my mom opened that little window that's in the back of the pickup truck to get to the bed.
Yeah.
What the heck? And I'm like,
that's hilarious. We call that the beer window. It's how you get the beer from the back of the bed into the cab. Beverage window.
Recycling.
All right, so
all right, folks. I gotta go. I'll keep listening, but I gotta go pick up the kids. But I just wanted to chime in.
Thank you for the stories, Derek.
That's good stuff.
Much
Thanks for
appreciated.
jumping in. That's
all right,
awesome.
see ya.
So we had so Carrie and I had my dad call one time. This is my embarrassing story for myself, because this is how I get embarrassed. All right. Yeah.
Oh, so good pay attention.
Pay attention. All right. So here I am. My dad calls. I'm on this great conversation with my dad, and talking to him, had this, great 15, 20-minute conversation. My wife was there. She hears it. She's in the background. She's chiming in. I hang up the phone, and I have like this like gut-wrenching grunk, right? And I go, and I let out this giant fart, and I go, because it goes glunk again. And I go, because it was right when I hung up. So I redialed my dad. And I put that right when he goes, hello? And I put it right up there, and it goes, instead of the that I was hoping it was going to be, it was a wheat. And that was all I got out. And so I immediately went click and hung up the phone. And I was so embarrassed that was all I got out.
I guess some men have performance issues, and that's their embarrassing.
Now, so you guys want to know what embarrasses me? Carrie was there, and she will
performance
Hey, if you guys want to know what actually makes me embarrassed, that was the one time that I was really embarrassed.
What?
And I hung up the phone real quick. So
I had no idea that it was your cell phone.
Well, like Eli used to love during COVID when everybody was just doing the Zoom calls. He used to love standing just slightly off camera and just ripping ass as loud as he could while I'm on conversation.
After my own heart. That's a man after my own heart.
Eric says that fart story is why I pay for the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Pizza Friday too, right, Eric? Make sure you get your pizza.
Oh.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, Eli he just thinks it's the most funny thing ever.
Listen,
like he would do it on purpose. He knew exactly what he was doing and how loud it would be on the thing. And he's off camera, so nobody knows anything.
It's not just us boys, ladies. You ladies do it too.
I'm just saying, you guys find it much more amusing.
Don't act like that. Don't act like
They
that.
don't have performances.
Don't act like that.
Never. I always can perform.
When I need to make the flatulence, I will make the flatulence.
Oh my God.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So if
God.
anybody else
Don't
wants
fart in
to
leather
like click the
pants.
link, clearly you could see that it works,
That's
and you guys could share any of your stories, and or even come to the studio like April and
Yeah.
and
All
share.
right, April,
So
we
what's
still need something.
like an embarrassing
Well,
work story?
Yeah,
or-
come
I
on,
have
now
a
you
funny,
really gotta-
I have like just, it's not much of a story. It's a bit of a snippet. I have a appropriate one and a really inappropriate. Not
Well,
Pretty sure
I-
we
if
haven't.
you're
We've,
doing,
we've
like,
well
the-
past the
the-
inappropriate.
Steph and Joe after dark version. I can tell you about my Universal Studios experience.
Oh, I know that's hilarious. You should tell that story.
Yeah, come on.
I know that one.
All right. Well, it was a
That's a
hot
fan
summer
favorite.
day. It was a hot summer day in
All my
Orlando.
favorite stories start.
This actually just happened last month.
Oh,
I was in Orlando with some friends. We decided that it would be a great idea to go to Universal Studios.
always fun.
It's 90 plus in Florida, so I'm wearing as little clothes as possible. So I'm just like wearing a sundress, as one does.
Not at an amusement park.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't
thought
do
it was
that either.
fine. Well, it was
I
technically,
don't-
well,
I don't wear a sundress either.
Here.
So.
technically it's a romper. There are shorts
okay.
underneath,
Some
so
shorts, yeah, I'm with
it's everything is covered. We're
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Cotton, breathable. Like, I'm happy that I wore this outfit. Everything's going great. We're going on roller coasters. We spent a small fortune so that we could cut the line and
Ooh,
do all the fun
always.
stuff, right?
Small
So
fortune.
we're so
Yeah.
excited to go on this next roller coaster, and part of its like new attraction is that there's no shoulder harness.
Oh,
There's only a lap bar, very tight lap bar. But this particular roller coaster has a lot of centrifugal force and upside down
You
and
fall out
flips
of
and
it?
spins.
No.
You do not fall out of it.
Oh, hang on.
Wait,
Can
this
you
gets
ride?
better. Don't
Okay.
get-
Oh, okay. But I want to know the ride.
Yeah, you'll get it.
It's
Okay,
what is
okay.
it? It's the Jurassic Park one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
Okay,
It's
I
the
know.
It's,
Velocicoaster. It's
yeah.
Yep,
called
the
the
Velocicoaster.
Velocicoaster.
Got it. Okay.
And it was very fun. I was on with my friend Joe. He was right next to
Not
me,
me.
to my left. Not
Not
this
me.
Joe. This
Sorry.
is a gay man, thankfully.
Yeah,
as
not
we'll
that
hear
Joe,
the rest
not
of
me.
this story.
He must not look as good though.
Well,
I'm pretty
it's
good.
a
Joe's a
matter of
handsome man.
personal
The us
taste.
Joes.
so I need
us
to
Joes,
close my eyes for
Matter of
the rest
us
of
personal
the
Joes
taste.
look really good.
Yeah. So anyway, thankfully, as you hear the end of this story, it's just a two by two cars,
Mhm.
just the two of us. We go through the roller coaster, screaming, laughing, having a great time. Everything's fun. It rolls up, and you're waiting in line to go back inside the enclosure, and you're just like, everything's just like, oh, that was crazy, and like, what a fun time. And we're just chatting about it. And I turned toward him, but then like it just dawned on me, maybe just readjust anything that needs to be readjusted. It needed to be readjusted.
The headlights.
How
were-
much?
It was
How much was
out,
hanging out?
all of it.
Everything?
The headlights were on. High
Yeah.
beams.
Yeah, so just all in one fell swoop, I like pretty much just blurted loudly,
Oh my.
"Oh my
tits.
god, my!" And in one split moment, I looked at him, he looked at me, and as I was like, he like saw at the same time, pretty much I did, and I like went like this, I pulled my dress straps, and we're both just laughing, crying, laughing. And what's really kind of the most funny about this is I don't really get embarrassed. I didn't really feel embarrassed. I thought it was the funniest thing that has literally ever happened to me.
Meanwhile, every
because-
10-year-old in line is like,
Yes. So what's funnier, and honestly, to date, probably my deepest regret is that I did not
buy the
Sign
pictures.
autograph.
for the photo
Sign
Buy the
autograph.
pictures.
that very possibly was us
Has gone
smiling
viral.
and laughing.
Don't
and
worry,
me
you can
topless.
search it. You can search it on YouTube or Facebook. It'll
like,
be up there.
The funny
somewhere.
thing is if anybody's gone to an amusement park,
You
like
go to
usually the people
computers.
that are like right behind you are also in your
Right.
picture.
Yeah.
Totally.
So if there was like a whatever,
No,
a family or whatever in front of
dad
them,
and his
she
kid,
could
a
have
mom
very
and
well
his
been in the
kid,
background of their family
Just
picture.
Just great
Smiling.
photo. Booming.
smiling with my boobies out.
It's not a photo bomb. It's a photo. Pew, pew,
Yeah.
pew, pew.
So I wish I had stopped and purchased that photo. But I did not.
Or had it
Hilarious.
Or had it,
Just
That's
figure out-
amazing.
or had it destroyed. One of the two. Yeah.
It was a great photo.
I think it probably looked okay. I wish I had it.
It was a nice sunny day. Yeah.
So I pay
And
attention
I was
when I'm on rides like
probably
that.
smiling.
There you go. That's
Because
right.
you're
You don't
always
try to, like,
smiling on a
make
roller
faces.
coaster.
You are.
You're happy.
No.
Do you try to make? Do you look for the camera and try to make
I'm
faces
just
into a
enjoying
ride?
the experience.
I always do,
just
or try to
happened
flip
be
it
off.
extra
You're just-
breeze. It was extra breeze.
Tits out,
It's just like,
Yeah.
grins out, tits out.
Yeah, me
You're
and
having
my
fun.
family always try to flip it off.
You don't. Thank you. You try to find it and you try to like. So I did that too.
I found that picture, so I'll show you when
I
you come
found
over.
your picture.
what picture?
The picture
The
I was
one with
telling
your
you
boobies
about.
out.
No, not that
Nobody
picture.
has
saying.
that one.
Um,
Nobody has
the
that one.
picture because when we were at
Challenge
Universal
accepted.
Studios at a
It's my
different time,
OnlyFans
not with
profile
April,
picture.
a different time. Everybody that knows me, I'm jumpy. So like if you come up behind me or whatever, I'm jumpy.
Yeah.
And so we were on the mummy ride, and you know how like you get like stopped at that one little spot, and then the mummy jumps out and scares you and whatever. Well, I actually got scared, and the fear face that I had was so crazy that Rich bought the picture. And he bought the picture not only with like he just bought it, but he also paid an extra like $50 for this stupid frame that you push a button, it lights up. So I found the picture. I told April I would send it to her, but I'll show her when she comes over.
Right.
We
Yeah.
love that. All right.
Mhm.
So Carrie and I took the girls to Universal, and we did a
They're all
a
Universal
we-
stories.
well, we did. The only reason is we did the VIP pass, so that way we could.
For the Harry Potter.
Well, we got it for all of
How's your Harry
Universal.
Potter, Joe?
However, we just focused on Harry Potter for the girls, but we did that, and we did a couple of the rides like 3 or 4 times. So after the first round, you're like, all right, there's a camera. Next time around.
Sure.
Right? Like I'm trying to make as many faces into the camera when we're coming around to the camera as I could do. And then we had the VIP. So like the dude was just cycling all the pictures onto our card and then sent them all to us. We didn't print or buy any pictures, but they were all
It made me very sad to find out that was an available feature, but it was too late by the time I found out. Because you said they disappear after.
Yeah, because you
Or
could.
do
if
they?
You have
Should I look
if
right
you
now?
have the app, you can link your
They're
app
still
to
there.
the
Oh, I don't know.
I want to know.
Our dude sent me a link and I just went on and went.
Oh, I didn't have the VIP.
Download.
I just had the express.
You haven't
pass,
been
not
getting
the
any
VIP.
weird calls from the
No,
Orlando
we had,
area.
yeah, but
No.
but what I'm saying though is I took the time to look for those
To make the
cameras
faces.
because I don't want to be totally shocked and like
Why are you
taken back
pointing at
by
me?
She really right.
because
Right?
you were
Very
shocked
impressive.
with your mummy.
I was like, I'll send you I'll take a picture of the
I
picture.
wa-
I'll send it to
I
you.
want
later.
to
Hey,
see it. Yeah,
when,
I want to see
when
it.
April says she's going all out on this roller coaster,
I
she's
Well,
going all out.
She's letting the girls out.
When April sent me a picture of her outfit, I was like, "You wore that to an amusement park?"
Yeah.
And she's
It
like,
was fine.
"Yeah," and I'm like,
I don't know what the problem was.
"But
You're one of the people that gets on like the slingshot videos for like YouTube where like they're going up and like everything just comes out and then
It would
Yeah.
not have
I think
come
you and I
out
watch different
had.
YouTube channels.
Wait, did you go? So when you were at Universal, did you go on that roller coaster, the Velasa, whatever?
no, all
So
we
it's
did
like,
was
it's just a lap bar, but it like it
whips you.
doesn't just go upside down. Like it like whips you.
I would have
upside down.
loved to go on that. I would have loved to go on that ride, but my wife and kids are not.
They're not roller coasters.
Of course, it's
people.
My older one is getting to be that way now. She wants to go to Six Flags and do a day at Six Flags,
Yeah.
but she did not know when we were down there that she's a roller coaster.
Got it.
Yeah, but we still enjoyed everything about
The
it.
Harry
But,
Potter was amazing.
It's
So
awesome.
cool. Even if you're
So-
not into Harry Potter, it's just a spectacle. It's
So wait, if you get on something like a ride like that, or let's just transition from, let's say you go to a park or you go to a place like that and you have so much fun, but you think, oh, I got this, and it's a new experience. Do you ever get like truly taken back by a new experience that you're like, oh yeah, no, I've been to an amusement park. I can handle it. And then you show up and you're like, ooh, this is not what I signed up for, right? Like I've done that downhill skiing, right? Where like I'm like, oh yeah, I've skied Michigan hills, and then you go to Colorado and they're like, yeah, a little different here. And you're like, oh shit, it really is, right? Not that I'm
Again, performance issues for Joe.
Right.
I'm not that I'm opposed to handling it. I'll still
It seems
do it.
that this is a theme.
I'll still do it. I'm just saying that, like, I want to
Well,
show
you know,
up and I
you're
want to
trying
say,
to jump onto a shed or something, or
break-
off of a
break-
shed.
break
and you
the
break
wheels.
both
Yeah,
feet.
yeah, yeah.
something.
Yeah, because you
See,
can't.
It really is.
here's the
performance
deal.
issues.
I don't
Right?
have an issue with trying
Performing.
things. Yeah,
Performing.
performance.
All right.
Performance.
So what did we learn? We're in the point where what did we learn?
Oh wow, let's show it.
we
did.
don't fart in leather pants.
That's right.
Eric fan.
Eric said, "Don't do whatever you do. Don't do it."
That's a good one.
What I learned today is that while I may not get embarrassed, there are certain things, and it is not performing when it comes to flatulence that I get embarrassed about.
I like how your "What did you learn" is all about you.
All right,
Well,
What I learned about me today.
We're glad we could be your therapist here.
We worked through that whole thing in an hour. We'll send you our bill later.
Right.
We do not accept
What
insurance.
did you learn then?
I think for us folks that don't get embarrassed very easily, I think that laughing is just our
It is.
outlet.
It is.
Like I can't, because
Yeah.
like even though like I turn all different shades of red, I'm not like embarrassed to the point where I'm like, I've never been mortified in a situation where I've had to run and flee. I've always found the humor in it. I mean, I'm still young, so there's still time for somebody to impress me. So anybody out there, you know.
Two things that I learned. One is that Steph doesn't like anybody who's taller than her, obviously.
Females,
Yeah,
female friends
female
that are taller
friends.
than her. Sorry, Anne Marie, you're out.
Unless you've got a breast to rest her head on. Other than that,
I'm
Oh,
telling
that's
you,
your
John-
collar with giant breasts.
Fine.
She doesn't
John's
appreciate
boobs are
it.
comfy, right?
and
I don't know that I've ever.
Oh,
You've
you're
never
just
put
gonna
your
have
head
a
on.
pillow.
You've never
We
put your head
slept in
on.
the same bed many nights.
And you've never put
recently,
your
and
head
I-
on her
and I
breast.
didn't-
Well, April's
I
too
didn't
tall.
take that
and
opportunity.
and the other
That's really what it is.
the other thing I learned is if you're going to go on a roller coaster with April, get the car in front of her.
To make sure you get the best picture.
Like,
Just want to make sure
I'm
that
just
you're
here
on the
for
car
your-
in front of her and know where the camera's at.
here for your
What'd you learn,
entertainment.
April?
In your
I
30
learned.
minutes.
I clearly learned nothing. No.
Yeah.
I'm going
I-
to repeat the same mistakes. That's why
Yeah.
Kent's getting the cart in front of you.
I don't get embarrassed either, but
Yeah.
I will say I've learned over the years that because I used to, we all probably did when we were young. And over the years, I've learned more and more that no one really is paying that close of attention
That's
to
right.
you. And when
They-
we get embarrassed most of the time, where
I love
other
that.
people maybe didn't even notice that it happened.
Great
So true.
point. That's such a great point because it's like you are more noticing it 100% than anybody else, and the quicker you forget it, everybody else has
Yep.
already forgotten.
The analogy that I use sometimes with my kids is we're all the star of our own feature film and everyone else is a supporting actor, actress.
Amen.
No matter how empathetic and compassionate we are as people, we can't get that we're just human beings. That's just how human beings operate.
Love
And
that.
if everyone thinks they're the star, they're not always going to notice every single thing.
My
you do.
life's
So
a
don't be
serious
so
rom-com.
don't be so hard on yourself.
A rom-com?
A rom-com.
Usually a rom-com?
Always a
So,
little bit of romance.
I guess thanks everybody for tuning in to our fun, funny show. We're trying to do these at
On
least,
Friday the 13th.
like once a
Yeah.
quarter.
That was a good one.
But next week we'll be back to actual real business tips and tricks, and we're going to be doing end of year projections. So it will be
Good
we'll be
luck.
back on track.
I will not be here.
And
so
this
the
weekend-
shenanigans will be gone.
And this weekend, if you see the tail raised, take more than 2 steps back.
Not only that, but if you want to fart into the phone, make sure you got a good one cocked.
That's
All right.